Fanpalooza and what Fanpalooza is about. First, Fanpalooza is a publishing company. We create virtual programs. We specialize in niche market electronic media programs, media guides. And our sole service is to provide free app technology that allows clubs, high school organizations to promote their sports and extracurricular activities at no cost. That's what we're trying to do. We consider ourselves the triple threat of apps because there's really three things that we provide to every sports organization. The first thing that we provide is an enhancement of the fan experience. I don't know how many times you guys have gone to a sporting event or even a band competition or something to that extent, and you see a young person who's doing outstanding on the field and you have no idea who that person is, how long they've been playing, what's their position, even the team itself. Many times as a coach, I've gone to a game that wasn't my team, of course, and I didn't know the records of the two teams. Were they good? Are they bad? What's going on the field in the competition? Fanpalooza enhances that fan experience by answering those type of questions. We want to provide those answers to those fans at the place that they're already looking. That's their smartphones at their fingertips. So our first idea is that we enhance the fan experience. Secondly, we provide that important exposure that all athletes are looking for. If we can create a hub where there's a multitude of athletes, we'll find those colleges that don't have the budget to go out and recruit nationwide, that can also, at their fingertips, find a bevy of athletes or musicians or drama, and I'll get to that lately, that meet their requirements. So we want to help with this recruiting industry. Many athletes and entertainers believe they're D1 constituents, but it turns out that 95% of all colleges are smaller than our Division I's, our bigger institutions. And there are ample opportunities to continue doing the things you love at a smaller level and help pay for that all-expensive college tuition. So the second aspect of Fanpalooza is we want to become a conduit for athletes and entertainers and help them continue on with their with the sport or endeavor that they love. So that's the second thing we do. We increase athlete exposure. Finally, the biggest issue, if you talk to anybody who's part of a booster club, is the situation of parental involvement. We believe that Fanpalooza can also assist with getting parents involved. With everything, we have that Pareto effect where there's about 20% of the people doing 80% of the work. So booster clubs are in need of helping parents get more involved. And we believe that with our player profiles, and that's a specific aspect of the app, in which parents are now, they have a detailed, definitive obligation within their involvement with Fanpalooza. So they're responsible for the player profile. It's their child that the coaches are responsible for, that the booster clubs are taking care of. And I think they're more than happy to help highlight their child. And I think with that engagement, we can bring them in closer to what the booster club is trying to accomplish. And therefore, Fanpalooza can help increase that booster club support. Also, Fanpalooza archives the high school experience. Parents are involved because they want their child to not only have a certain expertise in something, but to enjoy those 4 years. And usually, once that time is done, we have vague memories of what we've accomplished, what we've experienced. But at worst, 5 years later, that's gone. We may have an occasional video. We may have a pamphlet or a program guide that we received at the end of the year banquet. We looked in it once, saw our picture, put it away as a keepsake. But that time period can disappear. So Fanpalooza will archive that high school experience for you. So 5 years from now, we're in version 1.0, but version 2.0 will have a 2017 year where you could go back and relive what it is you accomplished during your high school career. So much so that if we're around 10 to 20 years from now, when you're an adult, you're talking to your child about the things you accomplished in your extracurricular activities, you could go right to the app and say, here I am, this is what I did, this is what I looked like when I did it. So it's a great opportunity to archive this fantastic period within their life. So what we know is that as Booster Club members, that the athletic experience, the extracurricular experience is important to you. We recognize that you value relationships with your corporate sponsors, businesses that may be supporting you right now. So something in addition that we provide within Fanpalooza is the opportunity to create real value for your business partnerships. We're going to play with the app real quick, if you don't mind. Show you some of the things that can be accomplished. And we'll go from there. Now you might see my password right there. I don't have to show you my password today. Oh, I got to show you my password. Nobody look now. Cover your eyes. All right, so this is Fanpalooza. The first thing you see is where you get to select your school. For this particular version, I created a Fanpalooza High School. It really doesn't exist. You know what? I have a prototype version that I think I'd rather share with you. Let me show you the prototype. This is the prototype version. There's some fake schools in here, but we do have our Champaign Central team. So you would click, that first scene was explaining to you where to click. The top button, you want to find a school that you're interested in, you click on school. Remind me to come back to this recruit me aspect at the very end so I can show you how we try to collaborate and partner with local colleges. So if you click on select school, you have two ways to find your school. There's an alphabetical search engine at the bottom, or you can just scroll and find the school you're interested in. We're going to go to Champaign Central High School. It's one of my favorites. Now you get to see their logo. That lets you know that, yeah, that's the school I'm watching, as opposed to there's many central schools, so we don't want you to be confused. So the logo pops up. After clicking on the logo, we have 16 icons. There are basically 16 extracurricular activities happening at most high schools. If that high school is partnered with us, their activity highlights. So in this case, we're looking at basketball. You happen to be at a basketball game. You see a young man who's doing particularly well on the court. You want to know more about him. First thing that pops up is a picture of the team. Now, this picture was not a digital formatted picture. It was just something I took off the net. So it's not in good high quality. But a high quality digital picture, you can enhance it and magnify it to the point that you can actually see those young gentlemen in that picture. At the bottom now, our icons have changed. We have about 8 icons that gives you different information in regards to your team. And I do want to show you, pay particular attention to the ad space. At the top and the bottom, we call those headers and footers. That's the value we can provide to the businesses that are supporting your organization. Not only do they get an ad, but those, of course, are links, and they will take you right to that company's web page and give them true value, as opposed to the static two-dimensional ink and paper ads that are normally in your ad sheets and programs. So at the bottom, if you wanted to know a little bit about the team, so what is their standing in their conference? Their standing pops up, and beautiful things. Those are links to other schools. So if I happen to have Danville in Fanpalooza, I didn't put Danville in, you'll be able to go over to Danville's Fanpalooza and find out information about their team also. Team stats. This would be information from previous seasons that the coach believes is important, that can help you get a better understanding of who they are, what they've accomplished, and it's basically just content to, again, enhance that fan experience. Also the schedule, if you like the team and you want to see them perform, again, you can see their schedule. As a matter of fact, you can also find out how they performed previously, so you can have a foundation to understand, well, is this a good team I'm watching? Are they a struggling team? What's going on with this particular team? You can become a fan of Champaign Central basketball and receive a push on your phone every time they change their content to let you know, hey, the team that you're interested in just updated their information. You might want to give that a look. Any articles written in local papers, the News Gazette, Bloomington Pantograph, you can connect links to those articles. So now, if I did want to do some extra investigation about this team, now I have some articles I can read about said team. If I'm really a fan of the team, I can share it with others. I can Facebook, tweet it out, put it on my Instagram. And finally, we have a shout out, which is a non-intrusive form of raising money for your program. And shout out, I don't know if you've ever been to a football game, but every once in a while you can pay $5 to the local announcer. All the money goes to the booster club. And they'll say over the loudspeaker, hey, little Jimmy, mom and dad wishes you had a great game. And you can do that. You can do a similar type entity with Fanpalooza where you send a personal message. And you say, hey, Jimmy, hope you have a good season. Oh, that's not say it, little Jimmy, but it's a quick note to the player, to the team in this particular situation. A quick note to the team that shows how you appreciate the team. That costs $5. Now, here's where Apple makes their money. They take $1.33 of that $5, but $3.67 goes straight to the program. And depending on how many you get, that's how much money you can raise without having to lift a finger. But one of the best aspects of Fanpalooza is this roster, of course. Now, there's only 2 people on this particular roster because once your students log in to Fanpalooza, the roster automatically creates itself so that it's not something that you have to go in and continuously upload and change. Of course, if you click on a particular student's name, this is the player profile we were talking about. I should have used a better picture. Can't believe I used that. But again, you can focus in and get a real nice look at the person you really don't want to see. In that case, that's me. But the player profile here is an excellent opportunity for athletes, musicians, entertainers to talk to those college recruits. Let them know. If it was me, I would definitely lead off with my GPA, how long I've been playing the sport, my passions, some of the things I want to accomplish. If you'll notice at the bottom, there are 6 more icons that are now definitive to that player specifically. You want to see stats about this player, how they've done particularly. In my opinion, these would be stats from the previous year. However, these stats are completely customizable. It's basically an image. I'll send you over a template, and you can choose and decide which information you want to share with different entities. Here's that archiving of the experience. Each player gets to have their own photo gallery. Now, in this case, I was just putting in pictures to see if I could overload the system. But of course, you can add a ton of photos, and all of these photos would be relevant to the athlete for their entire 4-year period. So they would have an extensive photo gallery here. And of course, these photos can be amplified, and you can really get into the details of what happened. In addition to photos, we have videos. Now, these are links, but every young person can create their own YouTube channel, create their own highlights. In football, we happen to use a program called Huddle that really highlights what we've done over this season. But again, it's a great opportunity to archive and to have one place where you can have all that information at your hand. We have personal shout-outs where now you can just send a shout-out to just that individual player. Again, it's $5. But $3.67 goes straight to your program. Finally, if you want to be just a fan of the individual athlete, so every time this athlete changes their content, you will get a push notice on your phone to let you know that they've changed their information. So that's the app. Oh, let me go back and show you our Recruit Me. So again, we recognize schools don't have extensive budgets. So that's why we provide all of this for you for free. There's no charge. Our only hope is at the end of this presentation that you see the value that Fanpalooza offers and you become our partner. We call it a partnership because you help provide the content and we'll provide you the environment that allows you to promote and highlight your students as well as your program. But in Recruit Me, my job is to go out and find those universities that have limited budgets, those colleges, junior colleges that have limited budgets but are in need of athletes and high caliber students. And when we find those groups, we'll find out, well, first, do you have any athletic opportunities available? If they do, a student can go to Recruit Me, and similar to the schools, whichever program that particular college is looking for individuals on, you can click on their icon and a brief ad pops up. A little bit about the team, a link to that school. In addition, a coach may appear and say something like, hey, we're looking for a left-handed pitcher who throws 75 miles an hour. If you meet those qualifications, give Coach a call at this number. So now you have a direct qualification for what they're looking for and who's looking for. So a young pitcher who happens to be left-handed now has hope. and finding an opportunity